Hi Northwest Elementary. I've missed you all so much and I can't wait for us to be back at school again. In the meantime, I hope you're all still reading. I know a lot of you brought your library books home for spring break and that's great. When you finish reading them, I'm trying to arrange a drop-off basket in front of the school for you to return those. And I'm also working on getting more donated books for anyone who wants some, so keep an eye out for that. Also, down in the description of this video, I'm going to be putting a few links to some places to get free ebooks and other fun stuff you can do to keep yourself entertained and still reading. So, you clicked on this video for a story, let's do that. I made a special trip to the library and got a whole box of books to read with you. And we're going to start with this one. This is the Hutchinson Treasury of Children's Literature. This is an anthology. An anthology is a book full of smaller books, full of smaller stories. Now this one, according to the foreword, has almost 100 pieces of writing in it. That's a lot. Some are short stories, some are poems, and some are bits from larger books. We'd call that an excerpt. Now these were all picked by adults who thought these were some of the best stories. Now, I think that's subjective. I think it's up to you to decide what you think is the best story and to have your own opinion on that. Well, I think I've been talking for too long, so let's get started. So, we're going to start with part 1, which is the youngest picture books and rhymes. So, for you older kids out there, just hang on. Hang on. We'll get to your stuff later. In the meantime, you can enjoy this nursery rhymes. All right. So, I'm going to go for it with my little magic wand pointer because I think it's, I like it at least. Okay, and if you'd rather read to yourself, then I guess mute the video, squint really hard at these little letters here. Okay, now this one, ooh, gander, wander. Okay, I'm no expert, but I think that this was written in a time when people pronounced these two words to rhyme. So it might have sounded something like, goosey, goosey gander, whither shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who would not say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. Excuse me? What is this? Are you the goose from that goose game? Is this why you're throwing people down the stairs? You do not need to be throwing people down the stairs. Do not do that. Bad goose. Bad goose. All right. Let's look at this side of the page. This little pig went to market. This little pig stayed at home. This little pig had roast beef, and this little pig had none. And this little pig went wee 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 all the way home. Was this little pig going to market because somebody was going to sell the little pig? What if he was one of the 3 little pigs? What if these were all the 3 little pigs? But wait, this is too many pigs. 1, 2, 3. That's like 5 whole pigs right there. I think I'm overthinking a nursery rhyme. Let's go. Here we go. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. So she gave them some broth without any bread and whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. No. No, you don't get to whip your kids. No, that's... Oh my God. Okay, I don't want to live with you, lady, in your shoe if you're going to be whipping people. Can't even give them any bread. Fine. I'm going next door to this guy. He looks like he's got something going on. Look at that. He's got a cat right there. I bet this dude has lots going on. There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. Okay, now see, that's nice. It's all crooked, but at least he's not hitting anybody. All right? Don't Don't hit people. Especially don't hit kids. Come on. Come on, old lady in a shoe. There we go. The Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts. She made some tarts. All on a summer's day. Oh, good for you, Queen. Good, having fun. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts and took them right away. Really? Really? She worked very hard on those tarts and just gonna... You could at least ask. You could at least ask, hey, Queen, can I have some tarts? You know what? Fine, I'm going to the next page. Forget you. The King of Hearts called for those tarts and beat the knave full sore. Why are these poems so violent? The Knave of Hearts brought back those tarts and vowed he'd steal no more. Good for you. Good for you. Don't steal. Especially from these guys. They've got swords. Those are sharp. Those are pointy. And they already beat you. I don't think you want them to stab you. These are very violent people. Maybe just leave. Here we go. Quentin Blake's nursery rhyme book. Okay. Little Jack Sprat once had a pig. It was not very little, nor yet very big. It was not very lean. It was not very fat. It's a good pig to grunt, said Little Jack Sprat. Okay, so the pig is good for hanging around going... Because those are pig noises. Pussycat ate the dumplings, Pussycat ate the dumplings. Mama stood by and cried, oh, fie, why did you eat the dumplings? Well, because you left the dumplings out on the table, not covered or anything, right where the cat could reach them. And I don't know if you've ever owned a cat before, lady, but if you put stuff on the counter and you don't cover it up or anything, cat's going to get into it. That's just what cats do. Handy Spandy Jack-a-Dandy loves plum cake and sugar candy. He bought some at a grocer's shop, and out he came, hop, 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 hop. What kind of candy are you buying? Is this some kind of Willy Wonka, float in the air, magical Wumbershoots, boopily-boo candy? What? Did you eat an entire kangaroo, sir? Did you? Why are you that... I'm not going to talk about what kind of candy can make someone go that high, but I'm just going to moving right along. Moving right along. Here we go. Nursery rhyme classics. Classics. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. It followed her to school one day, which was against the rule. It made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. And so the teacher sent it out, but still it waited near, and stood there patiently about, till Mary did appear. Why does the lamb love Mary so? The eager children cry. Why, Mary loves the lamb, you know, the teacher did reply. Okay, teacher, that's not an answer. They asked you why does the lamb love Mary so? And you just said, well, she loves the lamb. Okay, that's great, but I'm sure Mary does other things for that lamb. I'm sure she feeds the lamb and gives the lamb a nice place to sleep, and it was generally very nice to the lamb, and I bet that is the sort of thing that would make a lamb love somebody. Also, everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Does that include the bathroom? 'Cause I don't know how many of you have dogs or cats, but they will follow you in there, and they will stare at you. And it's awkward. It's very awkward. Now imagine a lamb following you into the bathroom and just standing there staring at you while you're just trying to mind your own business. Yeah, I bet 100% that's what the lamb does. I mean, that's just part of owning pets that can follow you around. There we go. A diller, a dollar, a 10 o'clock scholar. What makes you come so soon? You used to come at 10 o'clock, but now you come at noon. Wait, come so soon? Used to come at 10, but now you come at noon. That noon is 2 hours later than 10, if it's 10 in the morning. So you're not coming so soon. You're coming like 2 hours late, man. You're 2 hours late. Wait a minute. Unless this is 10 o'clock at night, and now you're coming at noon in the afternoon. So then you're coming like 10 hours too early, which makes me want to know, why don't you have anything better to do, Mr. 10 o'clock scholar? Think about that. Here we go. 1 foot up and 1 foot down. This is the way to London town. You're 1 foot up and 1 foot down. You're describing walking. You're describing walking. That's how you get to London town. You walk. Unless you live over here in America, in which case you're probably going to need to swim some of that, because there's an ocean in the way. There's an ocean in the way, and you can't walk across the ocean. Let's see what's happening on this side of the page. Jack Sprat could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. And so between them both, you see, they licked the platter clean. Okay, see right there? That is what I call teamwork, see? He can't eat any fat, his wife doesn't eat any lean, and there's fat and lean on the meat, you see? See where I'm going with this? So it takes 2 of them, and then they ate the whole thing. Shazam! Okay, I'll stop being weird. Here we go. Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. And a verse I've never heard before. Picking up the daisies, a tissue, we all stand up. Okay, good for you. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but good for you, Having fun. Here we go. Kitty. There's a kitty right there. It's a kitty. It's a kitty. Yeah, all my students watching this know exactly how much I love cats. So, pussycat, where have you been? I've been up to London to visit the Queen. Pussycat, what did you there? I frightened a little mouse under her chair. That was a terrible British accent. I'm sure I could do better, but I'm not going to right now because this is my read aloud. Mother Goose. Ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, and 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives in the lane. That sheep has got a lot of wool. And you know how you get wool off a sheep? You gotta peel that sheep. Peel your sheeps. If they have too much wool, they'll get too hot and they'll be unhappy. So peel your sheeps, people. Yeah. Oh, this one looks cute. Bye, baby bunting. Daddy's gone a-hunting to get a little rabbit skin to wrap the baby bunting in. Why don't you use the blanket you already have in the picture, lady? Why do you need an entire rabbit? Why don't you just take a whole live rabbit and put it on your baby, and so that way the baby's warm, but also has a rabbit. You see? That's a win-win. That's a win-win right there. Oh, this one. Okay, this is a rhyme that I knew when I was a kid, and we used to sing it, so I'm going to give that a go, and if it sounds horrible, I'm just going to edit this part out. Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we wash our hands, wash our hands, wash our hands. This is the way we wash our hands on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we wash our clothes, wash our clothes, wash our clothes. This is the way we wash our clothes on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we go to school, go to school, go to school. This is the way we go to school on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we come out of school, come out of school, come out of school. This is the way we come out of school on a cold and frosty morning. Oh, hang on. This is the way we go to school on a cold and frosty morning. This is the way we come out of school on a cold and frosty morning. Do we get out of school in the morning? No, not on a regular day. We get out in the morning on a half day, but we don't get out of school in the morning. We get out of school in the afternoon. So if you are going to school on a cold and frosty morning and coming back from school on a cold and frosty morning, then either this was a half day for you or you weren't paying attention to the news and school was closed because of all the cold and frost. And you just walked yourself all the way to that school to find out, oh, we're closed today. And then you had to walk all the way back. And I hope you put on the right shoes for it, because otherwise your feet would be very, very cold. And then you need to sit in the corner and think, what did we learn? What did we learn? I Want My Potty by Tony Ross. Now, I'd like everybody to look at the first word in this story. The first word is nappies. Now, my students are Americans, and I'm not sure how many of them would be aware of this word because this is a British word. Nappies is the British term for diapers. So, hey, little vocabulary lesson right there. But I needed to explain that so the entire rest of the story would make sense. Now that I've explained that, let's continue. Nappies are yuck, said the little princess. There must be something better. The potty's the place, said the queen. At first, the little princess thought the potty was worse. Ooh, tell us how you really feel, princess. The potty's the place, said the queen. So, the little princess had to learn. Don't we all, little princess? Don't we all? Sometimes the little princess was a long way from the potty when she needed it most. Sometimes the little princess played tricks on the potty. I see what you're doing there. And sometimes the potty played tricks on the little princess. Oh, look at you. Soon the potty was fun, and the little princess loved it. Everybody said the little princess was clever and would grow up to be a wonderful queen. The potty's the place, said the little princess proudly. Oh man, yep, so proud of that. So proud of that right there, that royal decree, as it were. One day, the little princess was playing at the top of the castle when... I want my potty, she cried. She wants her potty, cried the maid. She wants her potty, cried the king. She wants her potty, cried the cook. She wants her potty, cried the gardener. She wants her potty, cried the general. I know where it is, cried the admiral. So the potty was taken as quickly as possible to the little princess. Just a little too late. Better luck next time, little princess. Better luck next time. Alright, on this side of the page we've got A Dark, Dark Tale by Ruth Brown. Ooh, I think we're getting a little spoopy. Once upon a time, there was a dark, dark moor. On the moor there was a dark, dark wood. In the wood, there was a dark, dark house. At the front of the house, there was a dark, dark door. Let's open the door. Behind the door, there was a dark, dark hall. In the hall, there were some dark, dark stairs. Up the stairs, there was a dark, dark passage. Across the passage was a dark, dark curtain. Behind the curtain was a dark, dark room. In the room was a dark, dark cupboard. In the cupboard was a dark, dark corner. In the corner was a dark, dark box. And in the box, there was a mouse! Sorry for everybody who turned their volume up for that. I hope I didn't shatter your eardrums. All right. Pat a cake, pat a cake. This is another one I did when I was a kid. Let's see. Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with a B. And put it in the oven for baby and me. You should do that next time you're baking. Clap really hard. Hold the dough and hold the eggs in your hands and clap really hard. It'll be fun, trust me. All the parents watching the video now going, no, don't. Hello, how are you? Which, I'm probably going to pronounce this exactly wrong. Shigeo Watanabe is the author. Illustrated by Yasuo Otomo. I really hope I pronounced that right. If not, I'm sorry. Okay, little bear, what do you say? Hello, flowers, how are you? Hello, sparrows, how are you? Hello, cat, how are you? Hello, dog, how are you? Hello, Mr. Milkman, how are you? Hello, Mr. Paperman, how are you? It's a very greedy bear. Hello, Mr. Postman, how are you? Hello, Mama, how are you? What a funny little bear you are. Wait, wait. Oh, just running off from Mom. I see how it is. Hello, Papa, how are you? Hello, little bear. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Oh, that was a journey. That was one little bear going to say hi to everybody and everything he knows. What an epic adventure, everyone. Here we go. This is another one I remember when I was a kid. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the bird began to sing. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? Imagine if it happened to you, though. Like, you're just sitting there, minding your own business, eating some pie, and all of a sudden, birds everywhere. Birds in your face, birds in the pie, birds in, I don't know, dessert, birds in the microwave. No, not birds. Don't put birds in the microwave. That's not good. I'm going to just plow right through. The king was in the counting house counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden hanging out the clothes when down came a blackbird and snapped off her nose. But then there came a Jenny Wren and popped it on again. Birds are scary. Just stay away from birds. Here we go. King Rollo and the New Shoes by David McKee. Oh, King Rollo, eh? One day King Rollo visited the shoe shop. He bought himself a new pair of shoes. Of course, he already had shoes. Kings have lots of shoes. Lots and lots and lots of shoes. Woo, dude, how many shoes do you have? But King Rollo's new shoes were different. His new shoes had laces. Oh yeah, getting into some laces. Fancy time. King Rollo smiled and put on his new shoes. "Do them up for me, please," he said to the magician. "I can't always be around to do up your laces," said the magician. "Make a magic spell to do them up," said King Rollo. "A waste of magic. I'll show you how to do them up," said the magician. "Left over, right, and under and pull. Make a little loop. Now make another. One loop goes over and under the other." All right, everybody watching at home, did you get all that? You get all that? Good. He repeated it with the other shoe. "Just practice," said the magician as King Rollo went into his room. Soon, strange noises came from the room. Left over, right, and under, and blow! And sometimes a sudden crash like a thrown shoe. "King Rollo has new shoes," the magician told the cook. "Lace-ups." Later, the noises were much quieter. That afternoon, Queen Gwen came to have tea with King Rollo. "Oh, hey Gwen, what's up, girl?" The cook took her to King Rollo's room just as he came out. "Oh," said Queen Gwen, "I do like your new shoes. They're lace-ups." "Yes," smiled King Rollo, "and I did them up myself." Wow, everybody, round of applause. Way to go, King Rollo. We are all proud of you for tying your own shoes. Good man. Good man. Thumbs up is weird in this position. Mr. Gumpy's Outing by John Birmingham. This is Mr. Gumpy. Any questions so far? No? Good. Okay. Mr. Gumpy owned a boat, and his house was by a river. One day, Mr. Gumpy went out in his boat. "May we come with you?" said the children. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "if you don't squabble." "Can I come along, Mr. Gumpy?" said the rabbit. "Yes, but don't hop about." "I'd like a ride," said the cat. "Very well," said Mr. Gumpy, "but you're not to chase the rabbit." "Will you take me with you?" said the dog. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "but don't tease the cat." "May I come please, Mr. Gumpy?" said the pig. "Very well, but don't muck about." "Have you a place for me?" said the sheep. "Yes, but don't keep bleating." "Can we come too?" said the chickens. "Yes, but don't flap," said Mr. Gumpy. "Can you make room for me?" said the calf. "Yes, if you don't trample about." "May I join you, Mr. Gumpy?" said the goat. "Very well, but don't kick." I'm sure everybody will do exactly as he asked, and there won't be any problems. For a little while, they all went along happily, but then the calf trampled, the chickens flapped, the sheep bleated, the pig mucked about, the dog teased the cat chased the rabbit hopped, the children squabbled. The boat tipped, and into the water they fell. Oh, who could have seen that coming? Oh my goodness. Then Mr. Gumpy and the goat and the calf and the chickens and the sheep and the pig and the dog and the cat and the rabbit and the children all swam to the bank and climbed out to dry in the hot sun. "We'll walk home across the fields," said Mr. Gumpy. "It's time for tea." Oh, okay, well, everybody had tea. Man, now I want some tea. That looks good. They get like tea and they also get like little cakes and cherries and apples. I want tea. "Goodbye," said Mr. Gumpy. "Come for a ride another day." Wow. It's kind of nice of Mr. Gumpy to be willing to take everybody for another ride after they overturned the boat and got everybody all wet. I'm sure they'll do better next time. All right. Alfie's Feet by Shirley Hughes. Alfie had a little sister called Annie Rose. Alfie's feet were quite big. Annie Rose's feet were rather small. They were all soft and pink underneath. Alfie knew a game he could play with Annie Rose, counting her toes. Now that's only alarming if she's got like 11. Sorry. Annie Rose had lots of different ways of getting about. She went forwards, crawling, and backwards on her behind. And she liked to slide about very fast on her potty, skidding round and round on the floor and in and out of the table legs. Hey, I wonder if this is what the princess did. I wonder if this is what the princess from a few stories ago used to do with her potty. Okay. Annie Rose had some new red shoes. She could walk in them a bit if she was pushing her little cart or holding on to someone's hand. When they went out, Annie Rose wore her red shoes and Alfie wore his old brown ones. Mum usually helped him put them on because he wasn't very good at doing up the laces yet. If it had been raining, Alfie liked to go stamping about in mud and walking through puddles. Splish, splash, sploosh! Oh, I love doing that too. I love to. But you gotta wear the right shoes for it, otherwise you get wet socks, which is my natural arch nemesis. Then his shoes got rather wet, and so did his socks. See what I just say? And so did his feet. So, one Saturday morning, Alfie and Mum went to a big shop in the high street. They bought a pair of shiny new yellow boots for Alfie to wear when he went stamping about in mud and walking through puddles. Alfie was very pleased. He carried them home himself in a cardboard box. When they got in, Alfie sat down at once and unwrapped his new boots. He put them on all by himself and walked about in them. Stamp, stamp, stamp. He went into the kitchen to show Mum and Dad and Annie Rose, stamping his feet all the way. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Ooh, Mr. Noisy Shoes here. The boots were very smart and shiny, but they felt funny. Alfie wanted to go out again right away, so he put on his Mac and Dad took his book and newspaper and they went off to the park. Alfie stamped in a lot of mud and walked through a lot of puddles. Splish, splash, sploosh. He frightened some sparrows who were having a bath. He even frightened 2 big ducks. They went hurrying back to their pond, walking with their feet turned in. Those are my duck noises. I like them. Alfie looked down at his feet. They still felt funny. They kept turning outwards. Alfie, dude, what's wrong with your feet? Dad was sitting on a bench. They both looked at Alfie's feet. Suddenly, Alfie knew what was wrong. Oh, I see the problem. Dad lifted Alfie onto the bench beside him and helped him to take off each boot and put it on the other foot. And when Alfie stood down again, his feet didn't feel a bit funny anymore. Oh, you had your shoes on the wrong feet. Classic Alfie. After tea, Mum painted a big black R onto one of Alfie's boots and a big black L on the other to help Alfie remember which boot was which. The R was for right foot and the L was for left foot. The black paint wore off in the end, and the boots stopped being new and shiny. But Alfie usually did remember to get them on the proper way round after that. Usually, sometimes. They felt much better when he went stamping about in mud and walking through puddles. And of course, Amy Rose made such a fuss about Alfie having new boots that she had to have a pair of her own to go stamping about in too. Splish, splash, splosh. Oh man, little brothers and sisters, am I right, guys? Am I right? I'm an only child. Hickory dickory dock. Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock stuck run. I can talk. I'm going to try that again. Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one. The mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. Tick tock, tick tock. Wait a minute. You got dock and clock and one and down. One doesn't rhyme with down. Come on, poem. Do better. Okay. Let's turn our attention to this side. And we have In the Attic, written by Hyoen Oram, illustrated by Satoshi Kitamura. I apologize if I did not pronounce those names correctly. I had a million toys and I was bored. I climbed into the attic. Doodly doodly doo. Okay, didn't know a toy fire truck could do that, but okay, alright. Climb into that attic. I was there now. The attic was empty. Or was it? I found a family of mice, and a colony of beetles, and a cool, quiet place to rest and think. I met a spider, and we made a web. Oh, neat. I mean, I'm terrified of spiders, but, you know, cool. I'm just going to turn the page now. I opened a window that opened other windows. I found an old engine and I made it work. I went out to look for someone to share what I had found, and found a friend. Oh, tiger friend, and you both have stripes. That's something you have in common. You can be friends with stripes. Okay, sorry. My friend and I found a game that could go on forever because it kept changing. Nice. I climbed out of the attic and told my mother where I'd been all day. But we don't have an attic, she said. Well, she wouldn't know, would she? She hasn't found the ladder. The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. One winter morning, Peter woke up and looked out of the window. Snow had fallen during the night. It covered everything as far as he could see. After breakfast, he put on his snowsuit and ran outside. The snow was piled up very high along the street to make a path for walking. Oh, snow pile, jump in it, jump in it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His feet sank into the snow. He walked with his toes pointing out, like this. He walked with his toes pointing in, like that. Then he dragged his feet slowly to make tracks. And he found something sticking out of the snow that made a new track. It was a stick. A stick that was just right for smacking a snow-covered tree. Down fell the snow, plop, on top of Peter's head. Okay, Peter, I'm not sure what you thought was going to happen, but cool. He thought it would be fun to join the big boys in their snowball fight, but he knew he wasn't old enough. Not yet. So he made a smiling snowman, and he made angels. He pretended he was a mountain climber. He climbed up a great, big, tall, heaping mountain of snow and slid all the way down. Oh, that looks like fun. I want to do that. Why doesn't it snow much around here? I want to do that. He picked up a handful of snow and another and still another. He packed it round and firm and put the snowball in his pocket for tomorrow. Then he went into his warm house. Oh, I'm sure that snowball's going to be just fine, just fine. He told his mother all about his adventures while she took off his wet socks. And he thought and thought and thought about them. Before he got into bed, he looked in his pocket. His pocket was empty. The snowball wasn't there. Well, he felt very sad. Aw, I guess the snowball got up and left. I wonder what happened to it. While he slept, he dreamed that the sun had melted all the snow away. Aw. But when he woke up, his dream was gone. The snow was still everywhere. New snow was falling. After breakfast, he called to his friend from across the hall, and they went out together into the deep, deep snow. Oh, here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. And is that all we get? Come on, I know there's more verses of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Come on, don't lie to me, book. Okay, I shouldn't hit you. It's not your fault. You don't control what people put in you. I love you. Okay, well, moving on then. The Wind Blew by Pat Hutchins. Oh, I like this one. We have this in the library. The wind blew. It took the umbrella from Mr. White and quickly turned it inside out. It snatched the balloon from little Priscilla and swept it up to join the umbrella. And not content, it took a hat. Oh, hey, look, we're rhyming now. And not content, it took a hat. And still not satisfied with that, it whipped a kite into the air and kept it spinning round up there. It grabbed a shirt left out to dry and tossed it upward to the sky. It plucked a hanky from a nose and up and up and up it rose. It lifted the wig from the judge's head and didn't drop it back. Instead, it whirled the postman's letters up as if it hadn't done enough. It blew so hard it quickly stole a striped flag fluttering on a pole. It pulled the new scarves from the twins and tossed them to the other things. It sent the newspapers fluttering round. Then, tired of the things it found, it mixed them up and threw them down. And blew away to sea. Okay, well, thanks for that, wind. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you on the other side. I'm a little teapot. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. When I see the teacups, hear me shout, tip me up and pour me out. Woo! Yes! Pour that tea! Pour that tea! You know what? I've got some tea right here. Woo! Look at that. I tried to do a slurping noise and choked myself. Sorry. Maybe I'll edit that out. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know what future me is going to do. Moving right along. Willie and Hugh by Anthony Brown. Willie was lonely. Everyone seemed to have friends. Everyone except Willie. No one let him join in any games. They all said he was useless. Well, that's rude. One day, Willie was walking in the park, minding his own business, and Hugh Jape was running. They met. Smack! Okay, they didn't so much meet as they whammed right into each other. Oh, I'm so sorry, said Hugh. Willie was amazed. But I'm sorry, he said. I wasn't watching where I was going. No, it was my fault, said Hugh. I wasn't looking where I was going. I'm sorry. Hugh helped Willie to his feet. They sat down on a bench and watched the joggers. Looks like they're really enjoying themselves, said Hugh. Willie laughed. Ha ha! People running. Buster Nose appeared. I don't like the sound of this guy. I've been looking for you, little wimp, he sneered. Hugh stood up. Can I be of any help? He asked. Buster left. Very quickly. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Hugh at all. I mean, he just had somewhere he needed to be really fast. So Willie and Hugh decided to go to the zoo. Oh, look, the people have a little people. Cute. Then they went to the library and Willie read to Hugh. Having a good time. As they were leaving the library, Hugh stopped suddenly. He'd seen a terrifying creature. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 legs. Yep, it's a spider. Can I be of any help? Asked Willie, and he carefully moved the spider out of the way. Willie felt quite pleased with himself. Shall we meet up tomorrow? Asked Hugh. Yes, that would be great, said Willie. And it was. Twinsies! Oh my god, I bet they're best friends now. Best friends! Yes. Okay, I think I'm going to do just one more, because this section goes on for a bit. So let's end with Granny, Granny, Please Comb My Hair by Grace Nichols. Granny, Granny, please comb my hair. You always take your time. You always take such care. You put me to sit on a cushion between your knees. You rub a little coconut oil, parting gentle as a breeze. Mummy, Mummy, she's always in a hurry, hurry, rush. She pulls my hair. Sometimes she tugs. But Granny, you have all the time in the world, and when you're finished, you always turn my head and say, now who's a nice girl? Oh, that's kind of a nice one. Let's see, does it go on? No, it doesn't go on, and the next one's kind of long, so I am just going to end that here for today. I think we're like about halfway through part 1. So, I hope you enjoyed what I'm doing right now, and next time we'll have more of part 1, and I hope we work our way through this whole book. And don't forget, I've got other books that I'm going to be reading to you, probably like this, because this seems like a good format for reading. You know, I can read, you can read along, everybody can see the pictures, whatever, it's all good. Anyway, yeah, that's it for today, and just bye for now, guys. And like I said, I miss y'all so much, I love you very much, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Bye. And scene. 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 Scene!